college football day begins in LA, where San Diego State is 10-1 and number 21 in the country. The Aztecs a win away from another West Division title. Which comes, down you go, Cam Thomas. Boise State needs a win and some help. A red-hot run has the Broncos within reach of the title game.
Bachmeier going long. What a one-handed catch. Van Buren plows his way in.
A big day dawns in the Mountain West. Welcome to the Home Depot College Football on CBS. Carson, California, biggest game in the Mountain West Conference this year. Boise State and number 21, San Diego State. Last weekend in the Mountain West, it's this simple. San Diego State needs to win to get to the championship game. Boise State needs to win, and they need help. They need UNLV to beat Air Force. Hi, everybody. I'm Rich Waltz, along with Aaron Taylor. Sherry Burris will join us shortly. Both these teams are playing today to get to the championship game, which makes this feel like a championship game.
It is. For the Aztecs, this is basically a playoff game. If they win, they're in. And how about Boise State after a rocky start with 3-4? They've been red hot lately, winning 4 straight. Both of these teams are peaking at the right time. We got a chance for a really good game today.
It is time for the Home Depot Do Project Smarter. And we start with this really good San Diego State defense.
Boy, Boise State would be smart to try to find a way to block this aggressive, stunting 3-3-5 defense because they are physical, Rich. Perennially one of the best units on the West Coast. They get after it. They play with great effort. We're going to hear Cam Thomas's name all game long. 99, 50 yards to get a critical sack and a fumble against Nevada. But the DBs, they started out young at corner. They had some experience at safety. But in 2 critical ball games on 3rd and 4th down, they baited and anticipated and got themselves off the field.
Boise State, though, has weapons against this defense. 2 in particular, George Holani, Khalil Shakir.
The health of Holani is something to watch. He's finally healthy, rattled off 3 straight 100-yard rushing games. This offense will go as 24 goes today. And keep your eye on Khalil Shakir. He is an acrobatic playmaker.
Last weekend in the Mountain West, Boise State, San Diego State. It's a big day in LA. The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Sonic, Allstate, Grand Wagoneer, and by Coors Light. Well, here we are, Brady Hoke in his 2nd tour of duty at San Diego State, and he's got his team at 10-1, number 21 in the country. He's got a rock star of a kicker in Matt Ariza. Khalil Shakir, a playmaker, is deep for Boise State. We're ready to go in the sun in L.A. And Shakir watches it sail over his head, and we go down below. Sherry Burris. Sherry?
Hey, Rich, this game is the earliest for Boise State since September 2004. Head coach Andy Avalos told us they're trying to keep their schedule and routine the same, just adjust the time. Practice normally starting around 6, but Riley Wimpy saying he woke up around 3:45 this morning. And Dylan Herberg, he ate chicken and pasta rich still this morning for the team meal at 5:35.
Well, creatures of habit, we all are, Sherry. Thank you. Hank Bachmeier, quarterback. And away we go. We'll play action. Rolls, scrambles, is hit, and goes down. He'll gain a couple. Papa John's brings you the starting lineups. Bachmeier is a terrific quarterback if they can protect him.
Yeah, Hank Bachmeier's been off to the best statistical start of his career. What you love about this kid is that he's a tough, gritty playmaker. He does tend to hold the ball a little too long, though, and the Aztecs will make him pay if he tries that this morning.
No quarterback in college football has been hit more than Bachmeier this year. Holani, straight ahead. And he gets across the 30, gain of 3. The rest of the offense, and the big question mark for Boise State is in that offensive line.
Yeah, last week's starter at center, Jake Stetz, is out today, so Dante Harrington will re-enter the lineup. This is a huge development for what I think could be Boise State's toughest matchup of the entire day.
Third down 5. Bachmeier looking and throwing incomplete. And he watched that from his back. He was hit as he threw. And a 3-and-out for the San Diego State defense.
The Aztecs love to bring pressure on third down. That time Andrew Alecki dislodged from the second level at his linebacker position. And the Broncos forced to go 3-and-out. You see the center there struggle a little bit too. And there are those hits, Rich, that you just mentioned, taken by Bachmeier.
Both of these teams are great on special teams. Jordan Bird with a late fair catch, and he makes it after a 37-yard punt. Papa John's. And now we meet Lucas Johnson, who's improved every week of the season.
Man, I think saying that this pass offense was woeful to start the year is probably being a little generous. But credit Lucas Johnson. He has really elevated his game. Offensive coordinator Jeff Heklinski said that he's had patience and he's been really proud of Wade the 7 has stepped up his play. And let's be honest, if it hasn't been for the improved pass game of the Aztecs, this game might not be for a championship. He's been the key factor the last 2 weeks.
He's got a great tailback behind him in Greg Bell. And this is Bell, first carry. It's Boise State defense. It's pretty good. Jackson Cravens makes the stop. All right, with receivers who all of a sudden are getting open, Jesse Matthews has emerged.
Yeah, he's a former walk-on, really become the go-to playmaker on the perimeter for that much improved pass game we mentioned. He's coming off a career-high day against UNLV, and he and this wide receiver group can hurt Boise's secondary if the Broncos aren't disciplined. 3
touchdowns in that game. That was a tight game on the road in Las Vegas. Second down 10. Broncos bring 4. Johnson likes the short game and a bad throw that was behind Elijah Cody. And on the coverage, J.L. Skinner, he's a good one.
Oh, boy, is he ever. He's a heat-seeking missile and leads this team in tackles and swag and confidence. He's an aggressive physical tackler that fits the run well, but he can't be too aggressive today, especially against play action. The Broncos secondary must be good and clean with their eyes.
Third down 10. Johnson completing 63% of his passes. Boise State shows pressure. They bring 4. Johnson's in trouble, and he's hit and dropped. Dimitri Washington from the edge.
Gonna keep your eye on Dimitri Washington. He's right here. He's lined up. Notice there's only one defensive player in a 3-point stance. Washington stunts around, hits the left tackle, Zach Thomas, pushes him back and comes inside. That sort of pass rush on third down will serve the Broncos well if they can keep it up.
Ariza, the rock star punter, hits an absolute missile that lands at the 5, bounces back to the 10, and is downed at the 10-yard line. Just a 61-yard punt right out of bed, Matt Ariza. Boise State, San Diego State. Carson, California is a temporary home away from home for San Diego State. A long way from home. Keys to the game, Aaron Taylor.
Yes, sir. Well, Boise State offensively, the key matchup in this entire game is Boise State up front. Their offensive line must exert its will. Only 45 yards on average in their 4 losses. Defensively, they have to steal a piece of extra pumpkin pie. They're plus 11 in turnovers, which is 6th in the FBS. And offensively for the Aztecs, keep a balanced diet. The run game needs to emerge. And defensively, their eyes can't be bigger than the stomachs. They can't give up the big play. They must be disciplined there.
3-and-out and 3-and-out. Second touch for Boise State. They'd like to get the running game going, and this guy can do it. 3 consecutive 100-yard games for George Holani. That's a 5-yard pickup. Aztecs defensively.
Man, we see this guy made the first tackle of the game, and you are lucky in for a treat today as this top 15 defense is led by a one-man wrecking crew named Cam Thomas. He's likely the best D-lineman you've never heard of, and Bronco offensive coordinator Tim Plow said they need to know where he is at every snap.
Second down 5. Bachmeier play action, firing on the run, and it's incomplete. through the hands of Billy Bowens. Now the Broncos are down a receiver. Octavius Evans is out, and that's a loss for them.
It's a loss for him because Octavius Evans makes that catch. Now it was a little outside the outstretched hands of Bowens, but certainly a catchable ball. Evans' loss is being felt here early.
They still have some talent. Obviously, Shakir is terrific. Stephen Cobbs is good, and we'll see a little bit of Latrell Caples as well as the game goes on. 3rd down 5 now. San Diego State brings pressure. Bachmeier fires up the side, incomplete. There were 2 men in the pattern, and they were close to each other. That was Cobbs who was closest.
And something also to keep an eye on, because we're here in the early morning just after 9 o'clock on the West Coast, the shadows of this stadium, it goes from shade to sun right there when you're looking back, and that makes it a little bit difficult if you're those receivers on the perimeter like they were there to make the catch. The ball was off target, and credit blanket coverage by the Aztecs back there.
This was temporary home for the NFL Chargers on their way up to SoFi. Joel Velasquez, high punt, fair catch called for and made at the 38. 45-yard kick. Defenses look great in the biggest game this year in the Mountain West. Sunday NFL on CBS. Plenty of games with playoff implications. Titans and the red-hot Patriots. AFC North showdown, Steelers and Bengals. We'll get the day started at noon Eastern with JB and the guys on the NFL Today. Sunday, NFL is on CBS. Just a reminder, what's at stake? This is the last regular season weekend of the Mountain West. Boise State can clinch the division, get to the championship game with a win here and a loss for Air Force against UNLV. San Diego State has to win to get in. If they don't win, Fresno State will be in the championship game. And hello to everybody in Fresno who's watching this with rapt attention. Shot over the middle. B.J. Busby with the catch. Got the first down. About a 14-yard pickup. And that's into Boise State territory. And that's the very first down of the day.
Well, it's also the very first down pass that we've seen dialed up by Jeff Heklinski. This is what's different for this Aztec team. This quick hitch inside on the quick slant just simply wasn't there earlier on in the season.
Sits at the 47 of Boise State. Jeff Heklinski told us we now can control the game, not just with our running game, but also with the passing game. And they are a very balanced offense. And this guy, if he gets outside, is trouble. Bell racing to the sideline. And another 8-yard chunk there.
Getting to the perimeter is something that Heklinski told us he wanted to do. Go ahead and roll it, guys. You're going to watch everybody flow this way, and then he bounces it back to the outside. You have to be disciplined with your eyes. Somebody needs to set contain there on the edge. Little undisciplined there by the Broncos. Those are those dirty eyes that we were talking about off the top.
Got 2 tailbacks in there right now. Jordan Bird and Chance Bell. It's a deep running back room at San Diego State. That's Bird in motion. This is Chance Bell. Cuts back. That is a heat-seeking missile that comes out of the backfield. Tyreek Jones.
Man, we usually see J.L. Skinner doing that, but Tyreek Jones is one of the vocal leaders on this team. Bam! Just right at the line to gain. The Aztecs come up short, and that's the sort of tackling that we've seen out of this defense. It's really improved over the last 4 weeks. Spencer
Danielson, the defensive coordinator. Last week, they gave up a total of 102 yards. That's it. Look at this. That's Bellinger who came in, took the snap, and goes straight ahead. Bellinger, the tight end, sneaks in behind center. This is a unique quarterback sneak.
And what a great little creative wrinkle by offensive coordinator Jeff Heklinski that clearly had a little free time on his hands, maybe eating that pecan pie he was talking to us about the other day. He got some of that creativity.
There's Heklinski. A lot of the coaching staff, both coordinators, have ties to Brady Hoke and ties to Michigan in Hoke's time with the Wolverines. Greg Bell's back in there, and Greg Bell's planted again. Shane Irwin makes the stop. San Diego State on the move. And they're right at field goal range for their kicker, Matt Ariza, a left footer who is a rock star punter and a really good long distance field goal kicker. And 2nd and 10, quick fire, caught there. That's Matthews. He's got the best speed of the receiving core. Matthews to the 31.
And that's Canijo on the tackle out in the perimeter. This is what the Aztecs try to do. They like speed and space, and Matthews is a great guy to throw it to. But Canijo's the brother of Kakala, his older brother. But when you can tackle out in the perimeter like that, it makes it hard to move the ball. This is a third medium situation. The Aztecs should expect pressure and the linebackers to mug the line of scrimmage to try to cause some confusion.
Empty backfield. Tough snap. Johnson has it and throws high. That play never had a chance. Cody, the intended receiver. And so now you're at 4th down and about 4.
Keep your eye on the left tackle, Zach Thomas. He takes a big hit there by Dimitri Washington, who's already had a sack in this game. Thomas, who's usually the surest blocker on this team, struggling a little bit early in this game against a defensive line that is much better. Now keep an eye on this. Their normal holder, Jack Browning, is out today, and it's Jalen Clark, the safety, that's holding. So the operation here is important.
Ariza hooks it. Enough distance. Did not have the accuracy. And San Diego State is turned away. Another stop by the Bronco defense. Not a bad drive. Laces, laces, laces. Scoreless start here in the Mountain West. Sunday, Queen Latifah returns in the Equalizer, a show that critics are calling fresh and reinvigorating. Don't miss a new episode of the Equalizer Sunday, special time on CBS. That is David Delgado, who was the holder, and as Aaron pointed out, Jack Browning, the normal holder, is out with an illness. Delgado, the holder for the first time with Ariza. And here's the result.
Well, the infamous laces out, and Ace Ventura, pet detective, shows up here early. You see the laces right there facing the kicker. That makes the ball come off of his foot in very unexpected ways, as we saw there.
Shakir, and that screen blown up by the defense. Terrific play there by Dallas Branch.
He's been one of the young playmakers that's really stepped up. He's had some hand issues this year, but he had that one great one-handed interception against Air Force that was so critical to that win.
Second down at 14. Bachmeier, the junior. He's one of many Broncos that is from Southern California, so this is somewhat of a homecoming. Not much on the ground. Sherry Burris is down below. Sherry?
Rich, is Boise State trying to get the offense going? I saw offensive coordinator Tim Plow call over the entire offense. He reminded them to execute, do your job. He said that's why he likes to be down here.
Yeah, he made the change, Sherry, for sure. There's Bachmeier throwing. Back shoulder, what a catch. Terrific. Stephen Cobbs was tangled up with Branch. And a 21-yard gain into San Diego State territory.
There's a free rusher right in Bachmeier's face, but he puts the ball beautifully, and Cobbs is looking right back into the sun.
It was a one-handed catch. Bachmeier right back to the air. Little short outlet. This is Holani. Straight ahead. Breaks a tackle. Holani's down to the 25. 16 more yards.
That was a physical catch and run there by George Holani, and that's really what this team's been missing. Watch as he drops his shoulder, just bounces off Patrick McMorris, and then finally the physical Thompson comes over to make the touch.
Up-tempo and flags. Boise State trying to play as fast as they can right now.
Offside, defense, number 99, caused a reaction from the offensive player. 5-yard penalty, first down.
This is really the rage in college football. When the defensive line comes over, you'll see the offensive linemen move. As a result, they're trying to touch them. That's a sure way, and a great job there by Uzo Osuji to draw the flag.
So a first down and 5 now at the 20. Bachmeier play action fires. Caught! That's Raftal! Touchdown Broncos!
Keep your eye right here. We talked about the vision. He's going to come up. That's going to allow the tight end to get behind him. We talked about the disciplined eyes of the Aztecs, and Raftal makes him pay for the Aztecs' dirty eyes. The very thing we mentioned at the top of the show in effect here early on this third successful drive.
Extra point up and good. We have points in the Mountain West. Boise State scores first. Hank Bachmeier, Kurt Raftal, 7-0. Boise State a 7-0 lead. Their biggest wins this year have come on the road. At BYU, at Utah State, at Fresno State, and that's not by accident, Aaron Taylor.
No, it's not. This is a team that, after the bye week, Rich, head coach told us that they needed to come in and figure out a way to get themselves together, to become a family again. They recommitted, they redefined what that was, and those road wins that they've had are a result, and they look to be a pretty good start here. After 2 3-and-outs, they put together a really nice drive offensively.
Jordan Bird, 6-yard line. And Bird slides in to the 20. NCIS says aloha. Get on Hawaii time with the newest NCIS crew as they investigate trouble in paradise. Vanessa Lachey stars in NCIS Hawaii. New episode Monday, 9 Central on CBS. To be fair, this is not a home game for San Diego State. This stadium is their temporary home. They have a gorgeous new stadium being built that'll be ready for the start of next year. I mean, with traffic, this could be a 3.5-hour drive from their campus. It's about 115 miles from Carson to San Diego State. So they haven't played a home game really since 2019.
No, you have to give them a lot of credit for being able to deal with that. They treat these home games like a road home game, they said. They take the bus to come up here. Brady Hoke said they walk through before they leave. They walk through when they get here. So even though it's familiar, they still have the added challenges of travel and getting your room keys and pregame meals, all those things that just don't show up when you're at your home place.
It's a great facility for sure, but it does feel like a neutral site. Bell bounces off a couple of tacklers. Boise State's defense has come to play. Keikaula Kaniho with the finishing touch, and now a third down and 6.
The Aztecs have under 10 yards rushing so far in this game. This is a run-first team. This is a little bit of a challenge and concerning. This is what we've seen them in the last couple weeks, but you take a look at their last 6 games. They started out red hot, but it's really cooled off here down the stretch. And again, Lucas Johnson's arm's been the difference, and that's why they're 10-1, playing for a championship spot here today.
They're going to have to use his arm here on third down and 6. Blitz comes. Johnson fires. Sideline catch. And out of bounds is Jesse Matthews. And he's got the first down. 7 yards on the catch.
This is an absolutely beautiful throw with really tight coverage on Jesse Matthews. It's man coverage, but he places that ball to the outside with not much room between Matthews and the sideline. Again, case in point for the improvement at number 7 at quarterback.
They trust him a lot more now than they did at the start of the year, and he's earned that trust. Johnson, quick throw. That's Tyrell Shavers. Shavers with forward progress across the 36, 5 yards.
A lot of SEC fans might remember Tyrell Shavers' name. He's tall and athletic and joined in the spring after 4 seasons in the SEC at both Bama and Mississippi State. Had 2 blocked punts and a blocked punt return for a touchdown at the earlier part of this year. He's somebody that, as the season's gone along, has played a bigger and bigger role, just as we saw there.
Bell absolutely smothered. Okay, Calacanijo again.
A couple things you'll see is the motion right before there, but Calacanijo is going to come off the outside edge. The Aztecs don't have him accounted for. There's nobody to block him. That is scheme, and this Bronco defensive staff doing a great job of using their safeties and their nickelbacks to affect the run game.
He's more than a nickelback. I mean, he's a run stopper, great in coverage. Loss of 5, 3rd and 10. Johnson's throw in the middle and on the money, and a sliding, tumbling B.J. Busby at the 45 has 15 yards and a first down.
These in-breaking routes are exactly what Lucas Johnson likes. Again, ball location, timing, perfect there.
Got a player down, and that's an important piece for Boise State. J.L. Skinner, the junior, he's a San Diego native. As you described, he's one of the most valuable defensive players in this conference.
He's such a ferocious hitter. Ooh, gets his leg hit there as he was trying to jump out of the way of B.J. Busby. It's something that maybe Sherry can keep an eye on. And it's Tubner now that comes in to replace him. Alexander Tubner doesn't tackle as well in the open field by my film study, so that's something that maybe the Aztecs can take advantage of.
Lucas Johnson has some rhythm right now. Move the football out to the 45. A little quick toss. Bird makes one man miss. Makes another miss. And has got 12 electric yards. This guy is the home run hitter of the running back room because he averages almost 7 yards per carry.
Yeah, they use him a lot on fly sweeps and on the perimeter, but keep your eye right here. Tubner, the guy that just came in, got blocked there by Jay Rudolph, the tight end, and now it's trying to pursue. Just a great job of making sure that they're blocking the edge out on the perimeter, and I think the Aztecs, that's where they're going to have to get some yards here today, is getting the football outside the hash marks.
Inside the 45, Johnson, mobile quarterback, has a man. That's Matthews at the 20. Matthews inside the 15, down to the 14. 30 more yards.
This is a great job by Lucas Johnson keeping moving. He's going to boot out off of the play action. But how about Matthews, sensing that it's zone coverage, settles down right in the open spot and finding some really good yardage there against a pretty good secondary.
Both offenses have come to life. Matthews had the 2 touchdowns in both overtimes in the win over San Jose State and the 3 touchdowns last week against UNLV. Johnson to throw again, fires for Shavers, and it's broken up. Outstanding coverage by Caleb Biggers, the transfer from Bowling Green.
Caleb Biggers is a big body, and that's good because he's on 6'6" Tyrell Shavers. These guys were being physical, but that's a fair fight, and I believe a good no call on pass interference. They're both handsy all over each other with equal rights to the football. 26 says, not on my watch.
And good news for Boise State. J.L. Skinner back in the ballgame.
Matthews is the guy you got to keep your eye on down here in the red zone.
That's a very good red zone percentage for touchdown prevention, and that's almost a disaster as it bounced off of Matthews. This will be 3rd down and 10 now for San Diego State.
Hope my telestration there didn't block his eyesight there. That ball came to him quick. He's usually sure-handed, but he's coming off his best career-high game with 9 catches, 75 yards, and 3 touchdowns in that crucial win last week against UNLV.
3rd down 10.
Your Boise State, you're bringing pressure here.
Long count for Johnson. And nobody there. And it's incomplete. San Diego State missed a long field goal. And again, Brady Hoke is without the normal holder. He's going to send the field goal unit on again.
Watch Shane Irwin with the speed rush, the dip and rip. He gets to Johnson just at the last minute. And that's something to keep an eye on because Boise's getting pressure, albeit late. They've got to keep an eye on that. And here's another chance for Delgado to prove that he can hold and get the laces out to give Ariza a chance.
31 yards down the middle. Nicely done. San Diego State, number 21 in the country, is on the board.
Rich, I'm not sure he got those laces. They're off to the side, so hey, that's an improvement. But regardless, the Aztecs make the field goal. Get up here 3-7 in a tight one.
A 7-3 start. Boise State on top. San Diego State missed a long field goal. They have a new holder. David Delgado had the laces back. This time, laces to the side.
It's an improvement. It's a 90-degree rotation. That was the difference between a made field goal here and a missed earlier. It is not an easy operation. David Delgado's job is not easy. He's not familiar with doing this, so to expect him to do this on game day with a game of this magnitude is a ton of pressure. That's a really good sign for the Aztecs that he was able to improve between those two kicks.
Special teams, these are not only two of the best teams in the Mountain West, but two of the best special teams in all of the West. That one through the end zone. Boise State will get the football. Our Jeep Studio update back to New York. Adam Zucker. Adam.
All right, Rich. Kansas State on the field against Texas. They've lost their last 4 against the Longhorns. Down 7-0, but Deuce Vaughn makes it 6 straight games with a rushing touchdown. Gets a great block at the goal line, trying to send the Longhorns to their 7th straight loss. Laces out, guys.
Very important, Adam. Very important. 7-3, Boise State. Broncos move the football. Their last possession. Long drive and a touchdown. Polani. Maybe a yard.
Well, we've seen Bachmeier get hit early and often by this Aztecs defense, but his ability to stay in there. We talked about his toughness in the pocket, but he turned himself on with a little bit more time. He's finding some accuracy. And what I'm noticing that Tim Cloud, the offensive coordinator, is doing, he's throwing behind the pressure that he's expecting from the Aztecs.
And that soft spot seems to be in the middle of the field. Everyone's coming, and the play blown dead.
False start. Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's Ben Dooley, the right guard.
He's their big guy, their best run blocker, but also Will Farah is now in the game. The game started with Dante Harrington at the center position, but with some of the problems they've had, Will Farah is really the guy that they want to have in there. He's been nursing a calf injury on that right side. If he can go today, that will significantly improve Boise's chances up front.
Yeah, he's not 100% either, but it's that time of the season where if you can go, you go. Pressure comes. Bachmeier's throw short and caught. And the final seconds of this first quarter. Boise State trying for up-tempo. It's an 8-yard pickup. And a 3rd down and 7. And they're going to wait. On to the second quarter. Andy Avalos and Boise State on the road and on top. You're watching the Home Depot College Football on CBS. We'll return to Carson after this message and a word from your local stations. Great day to have the Goodyear blimp with us. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. That's a cool look at downtown Los Angeles. We are in Carson, just south of LA, a long way from San Diego State campus. Temporary home for the Aztecs and a big 3rd down for Boise State.
The last 3 third downs. The Aztecs have brought pressure. Let's see what they change up here, because Boise's been able to take advantage of it. What you're seeing here with everybody standing up is what they call their ghost package or radar package. It makes recognition and blitz pickup really difficult for the O-line.
This is a difficult defense to begin with, let alone the ghost package. Cobb's in motion. Early start, no flags. Bachmeier's throw is intercepted. Patrick McMorris.
All 20. Great protection up front, but this is an Aztec defense that has 12 sacks coming into today's game. Their 13th of the year is a big one here with Boise State driving. That ball was late. McMorris read it perfectly with his zone eyes. Good protection up front, but Bachmeier threw that ball late and paid a huge price.
Thought for a moment there might be a flag on offside in an early start by one of the defensive ends, but no flag. A big turnover, and at the 41-yard line of Boise State, San Diego State takes over. Lucas Johnson with time. Through a lot of traffic there, and it's incomplete. Second down 10.
Yeah, I thought he had Daniel Bellinger wide open. Maybe some miscommunication there. But Riley Wimpy is the second leading tackler on this team. He's somebody that's really active. I think an emerging storyline in this game for me is their inability to run the football. The Aztecs just simply haven't been able to get anything going on the road or on the ground.
And that's, look, that's their trademark. That's their bread and butter. That's what this program has been built on. Second down 10. And there's a great example of it. Bell over the right side, maybe a yard. This is a team that routinely averages 250 yards a game, routinely puts running backs in the NFL. But that's not happening right now.
Keep your eye on Riley Wimpy. He's the play side backer. He's looking through the guard. He's reading it. Slide, shuffle, shuffle. Whack. Cancels the gap. You have to have an offensive lineman that accounts for a linebacker. Nobody should be able to run free like that. The Aztecs with a third and long here as a result.
And probably not in field goal range. This would be about a 57-yarder for Ariza. Blitz comes. Johnson with time. And a throw to the sideline for Matthews. Incomplete. Kaonohi Kaniho, Kekala's younger brother, on the coverage.
Yeah, it's another good coverage there. The ball was late. They had great patience up front, but just really solid coverage on the back end's the difference here. And now the Aztecs are in a situation where they're going to use the big leg of Matt Ariza, not to kick it far, but to try to pooch punt it. He's been excellent with kicks inside the 20-yard line this year.
That's a hidden stat with him. Everyone looks at the sexy yards per punt, which is the longest 52 yards per punt in NCAA history. But he's really good at this, pinning the ball inside the 5. This one kicks into the end zone. Out to the 20 for Boise State, who has a 7-3 lead against number 21 San Diego State. Boise State a 7-3 lead early in the second. Bring on the Duck. Let's test your knowledge for today's Aflac trivia question. What Pro Football Hall of Fame and 3-time Super Bowl winning coach played at San Diego State? San Diego has such a great tradition of football, not only with the Aztec success, but of course the long love affair with the Chargers.
That one's a little outside the box. I'll give a little hint. Think NASCAR.
Bachmeier pulls, looks, fires, caught, and that's Shakir. And Shakir's got a first down out to the 39-yard line, 18 yards on the throw and the catch.
This is where Bachmeier's so good. You see how he came off his first read there. He knew that Shakir would be trailing. That's heads-up play by a quarterback.
They line Shakir up everywhere. He's actually thrown some passes this year as well. Bachmeier's throw, low and incomplete. Tim Plow is the bright young offensive coordinator for Boise State and a San Diego Charger fan. And I emphasize the San Diego part. His father, very proud of Tim, refused to come to this football game because he does not want to support any facility that supports the Los Angeles Chargers. So a tried and true San Diego Charger fan, Tim Plow's dad, is at home watching and should be very proud of his son. And still somewhat of a mystery to many why they would leave that fan base behind in San Diego.
No question about that. Tim Plow looks a lot like Ted Lasso, the head coach of the famous show on Apple. They certainly wish that the Chargers would maybe treat the fans here like Ted Lasso treats his players.
3rd down and 9. Holani with the catch, racing for the sticks. Holani across midfield, and he's got a 1st down, and Bachmeier and the Broncos offense is rolling again.
Plow's doing a great job of throwing where they're not. They brought some pressure again, so there's nobody out there to be able to make the tackle. Andrew Alecki is out, and Boise State finding ways again to successfully outflank the Aztecs.
Bachmeier going deep. This is Cobbs, and it's over his head.
Seen a couple of off-target throws on this drive by Hank Bachmeier. Noah Tumlin was on coverage there. You like this deep shot with Cobbs. This is the place in the field that you want to do. But he just threw it about a yard or 2 outside. You really like the location where their football was, but just a little too much air underneath it there.
We told you Bachmeier, the 3rd most pressured quarterback in college football, and he's been hit more than any other quarterback in the game this year. But the offensive line right now is giving him time. Bachmeier, and we've known it every time we talk to a defensive coordinator that plays Boise State, will tell you he's the toughest quarterback they've seen in a long time.
I remember his true freshman year on the road against Florida State. We saw it then. We've been seeing it since.
Rolling here, firing, caught on the run. Davis Cutter with the catch. And Cutter to the 36. That's 12 yards on the pickup. Davis Cutter, the son of Dirk Cutter.
And now we're seeing some hurry up in tempo. Tim Plow said anytime we get a 1st down, we're going to use tempo to our advantage so that the Aztecs can't sub and blitz us to death. Bachmeier
steps through and wobbles one, and that almost ended up in the arms of McMorris. Good pressure by Jonah Tavai.
Jonah Tavai's the nose tackle right there on the right side of the screen. Absolutely swims. The right guard there, Ben Dooley. Soft edges inside on the interior line have been a problem for Boise State. The Aztecs haven't been fully able to get home, but they've been close. And they're going to get flagged for offsides.
It's a free play. Bachmeier's throw is caught. I'm not sure if he got a foot in. He did. Wow, Latrell Caples.
They're going to obviously decline this penalty, but look at the concentration there by Latrell Caples. He has the football. They need to see if his feet were on the ground while he possessed the ball.
Defense, number 99. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a 1st down.
Well, it looked like the toe certainly caught inbounds. Let's see if he held possession all the way out. There's the foot. And the catch.
Excellent job. And the coaches really feel like Caples is on track to take over for Khalil Shakir next year. They said regardless of what happened today, we need to try to feed Seven the ball more, and that is perfectly an example of what they love about Khalil Shakir. If Seven can do that next season, that would be huge for the Broncos.
Those are big shoes to fill. Shakir is one of the great receivers in a long line of great receivers. Gene Steratore, who's been busy already this holiday weekend, is with us. Gene, welcome aboard. What did you see on this catch?
An unbelievably great play by the receiver, guys. Just the toe tap with the left foot in firm possession, as you already mentioned, all the way to the ground with no bobble whatsoever. It's a big-time catch and a good job by the officials.
It's a great job, Gene. So many times we see the wide receivers bobble the ball, but he sticks this one, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, Aaron, and he holds on firm. And really, from an officiating standpoint, you know, you want to work from the feet back up, because if the feet aren't good, the ball means nothing. But it's that progression from looking at the feet and then watching this play finish to see that there is no loss of possession.
The ruling on the field of a catch stands. 1st down, Boise State.
Gene, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
And
Same to you
interesting,
guys.
yeah, interestingly, though, they said stands and not confirmed there, which indicates there wasn't indisputable evidence to corroborate the call that was made initially, which was right, that was a good catch.
Well, the result is 1st and 10. Bachmeier's numbers grow, 138 yards, did throw a pick, has thrown a touchdown. For the 13, low snap, Bachmeier fires, Shakir there, caught, touchdown. Gorgeous throw.
Gorgeous throw is right, Rich. We've seen him be off target a little bit, but this is just one-on-one. If you're a DB, you have to stick this. Just a great route. Look at the trust. If that ball's thrown too far left, too far right, or too far forward, Shakir doesn't have a chance. The perfect location for another touchdown for the Broncos.
Jonah Dalmas. Extra point. Oh, he missed it. It hit the upright. Khalil Shakir. 203 career receptions. And this one is a big touchdown.
Here in Carson, I'm seeing San Diego State cornerback Noah Tumblin, guys, get yelled at more than once, particularly after this second touchdown from Boise State. Coach Hoke came over and tried to talk through what he just saw on that last play.
Well, Sherry, right now, San Diego State feels like they're on their heels a bit, and Boise State's offense is clicking. Shakir is involved, and that's never good if you're a defensive back. On December 11th, CBS is once again proud to bring you one of the most spirited and respected rivalries in all of college football. A game of honor, Army-Navy. December 11th, here on CBS. Lucas Johnson, San Diego State have been able to throw the ball much better over the last 3-4 games. That's going to be tested here. They can't move it on the ground. They're going to have to do it through the air.
Last time we saw the Broncos, they got themselves a 3-and-out after Bachmeier threw an interception.
From the 24, Jordan Byrd. And again, just 2 yards on that carry.
Well, an early storyline in this game was the way that Boise State has improved on their front seven. We saw Tyreek Jones come up and make some sticks. We saw Kaniho come off that outside edge along with Dimitri Washington. But this front seven from Boise State that was soft, and I'll use that word soft, and that's a cuss word to anybody playing the defensive side of the ball. Spencer Danielson and this defensive staff have done a masterful job getting better throughout the season.
Johnson fires. That's dangerous. Oh, incomplete. Kawanohi Kaniho, younger brother of Kekala, almost had a pick six.
We've seen these hitches off the play action, kind of an RPO action there. And this time the adjustment is Kaniho is playing a little bit tighter. The Aztecs were taking advantage of a little bit of softer coverage. This time 14 baits himself, breaks on the football, and almost gets a pick.
Both brothers had an interception in the same game earlier this year. That doesn't happen very often. 3rd down 8. Johnson fires and throws high. And the Boise State defense has been outstanding so far today.
Back-to-back 3-and-outs by this unit that's now starting to put some pressure on this Aztec team. San Diego State's inability to run the football really starting to wreak havoc with them. And remember, we talked about at the top of the show, this is a team that has played extremely well on the road. They've won 4 straight, and I think what we've seen here in this first half, you can understand why.
Ariza on to punt. And it's a fake. San Diego State, and they don't get it. Tubner with the play. Aztecs gamble, and it blows up.
is going to come from this side over here. But this speaks to the desperation of San Diego State. They don't feel that they can move the football legitimately, and they go to the trick basket one too many times, and Tubner was ready. Garrett Fountain, partly responsible for carrying this ball, doesn't get it because Tubner's great tackle. That's great eye discipline, and now Boise has the ball, knocking on the end zone once again. Would not be surprised. Sudden change here. They take a shot at the end zone.
Well, that's a disjointed start. Bachmeier's throw is on target. I'm not sure what went wrong before that snap. Cobbs makes the catch. Just a 4-yard gain.
Got a different center back in the game as well. Again, late pressure. The Aztecs haven't gotten home fully, but they're getting close.
Holani. And Holani is inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Boy, San Diego State scored on a fake field goal 3 weeks ago at Hawaii. And Brady Hoke going with a fake punt in a key moment. 3rd down 2. Certainly field goal range, but Boise State is thinking 6. Bachmeier fires. It's caught. The ball, Patrick McMorris and Shakir all arrived at the same point at the same time.
What incredible concentration by Khalil Shakir. And how about Bachmeier getting hit right as he throws the football? But you were on it, Rich. McMorris was in tight, close coverage and gets there right as the ball does. But those strong hands of Shakir were the difference.
Holani straight ahead. Good push. He's going to get to the 10-yard line. That's a gain of 3. In the red zone is Boise State, and they've been really good inside the 20 today.
Yeah, they're only 54% touchdowns on the year, which isn't nearly as good as you'd want to be. But to your point, they've been perfect so far in this first half.
Bachmeier looking at a 2nd down and 6. Cobbs in motion. Bachmeier pumping, looking, and throwing out of bounds, and he ends up on his back. Brings up a 3rd down.
There's been some physical play between these Boise State wide receivers and the defensive backfield of San Diego State, and it's been the Broncos that are winning that matchup. So with the field condensed here, Rich, it being 3rd down, it being red zone, the Aztecs have been getting close with pressure. Can they get to the quarterback when it matters? Here's a great opportunity for them to do that.
Very good on 3rd down, 4 of 7. Holani splits out top of your screen. Bachmeier flushed, racing for the stick. He may have gotten there, and he did. Bachmeier dives forward, has the 1st down.
We talked about the toughness. We talked about the grit. This is a perfect example of it. There's nowhere for him to throw the football safely. He can see where the sticks are. He's going to be a little bit short, it looked like, from that angle, but just a tremendous effort to try to give himself a chance, and he is indeed short. The Broncos are going to kick a field goal.
And that's my bad. The first official that got there stepped outside the stick, which would have been a 1st down. The second official spotted it inside the stick. And here's Dalmas.
Last time we saw him, he missed an extra point.
And he knocks that one through. Fake punt costs the Aztecs 3 points. Bring back the duck. Here we go. Answer the Aflac trivia question, which was, what Pro Football Hall of Fame 3-time Super Bowl winning coach played at San Diego State? You gave a nice clue. NASCAR. Joe Gibbs, early 60s. Tight end, linebacker, offensive line.
Boy, they built them different back in the day, didn't they?
They sure did. Playing his games at historic Aztec Bowl on the San Diego State campus. Jordan Bird deep. And Bird on a knee. Sherry Bird's down below. Sherry?
Rich, it was just Jordan Bird I saw here on the sideline. He walked over to quarterback Lucas Johnson. He said, "Come on, man, we're counting on you." Starting to see the frustration here on the San Diego State sideline.
That's, you know, look, Sherry, for this guy, his last 3-4 weeks have been smooth sailing. He's been accurate. He's been efficient. And Aaron Taylor, I think that the puzzle now is how do you jumpstart him? How do you give him confidence and get him back in rhythm?
The high percentage throws, hitches, slants, stuff that he can complete to get some confidence back. But it's not just on Johnson. These receivers aren't getting themselves open either.
And run game would certainly help, but that's Greg Bell, and he busts across the 35 to the 37, 12 yards and a first down.
This is good patience by Bell. He's going to hit this, and this offensive line has 6 defenders in the box. The in-man on the line of scrimmage is blocked with the play fake on the zone read, and this is a great job of this offensive line finally getting a hat on the hat and opening up the run game.
Out to the 37. Bell's averaging 82 yards per game, had just 58 yards at UNLV last week. Another 3 yards. If you're just joining us, Boise State, a 16-3 lead for number 21 San Diego State on the last weekend in the Mountain West. Boise State, to get to the championship game, needs to win this game, and they need UNLV to beat Air Force. So they need help. San Diego State has to win to get in. They lose, it's Fresno State who will represent the West in the championship game. 2nd down 7. Blitz comes. Johnson with time. Fires. Bellinger deflected and caught. Matthews trailing the play. Bellinger looked like he got hit before the ball arrived. And let's look.
100%. This was pass interference, but they get away with it, and the Aztecs get a lucky bounce. A heads-up play by Matthews, who doesn't maintain possession all the way to the ground. I don't know if this catch is going to stick because he doesn't maintain possession all the way to the ground, which is unfortunate because the Broncos got away with a pass interference there.
Well, before the snap, whistles sound. So the question is, did he make enough of a football move? How many steps does he need to take before you establish possession? There's 1, there's 2. And then going down.
And his knees down before that ball comes out. That's a critical piece of what's going on here. Or at least something to consider. He doesn't look like he's got firm grasp as he goes down to the ground. But, Gene, what do you see here?
You know, I think it's still a play that involves going to the ground. I know the knee does hit, but the knee's hitting as that player's going to the ground. To me, you would have to survive the ground on this play. I know 2 feet are there as well. And then it is this time element, right, that we have to have in the equation that allows a player to make a football move, or at least have the time to perform a football move. And to me, this is just possession, trying to secure a football as I am falling. I would rule incomplete.
The previous play of a catch sufficient for a first down is under further review.
So the one thing in there, Gene, is it interests me. You said time.
Because the play is under further review, Boise State will not be charged with timeout.
And so when you're trying to consider catch, is it steps or is it time or a combination of both?
It would be a combination of both. So if we have control of a football, and then we have in a college game a foot down, which does get that second element done. Now the next piece that we have would be a second step. And here we have a 1-2, but they kind of happen in conjunction with each other. So I don't really consider that second foot a step being a step with control, like I'm now an upright runner. So when we don't have that second kind of full step or movement, then we have to say, okay, do we have enough time to make a football move, or did we actually see a football move, a tucking of the ball, a turning upfield, something in that level? And this is where, in replay, we get a distorted version of that if this play slows down so much that we take something that happens in fractions of a second and it makes it appear that it's a much longer third portion of the process. Therein lies the technology, and then implementing that into a normal, rational type of what is a football move or the time element.
Yeah, it's the ground can't cause a fumble, but it certainly can prevent a catch, and it certainly appears to be the case there, Gene. What about the pass interference? Looked like the defender got there a little bit early on Bellinger that caused that ball to pop up in the air in the first place.
Yeah, I agree with you, Aaron. It's a tight play. It's almost a bang-bang play, but I think we could have supported pass interference on that. I think the other element is the knee itself here, right? So if there's firm control and the knee is hitting the ground while firm control occurs, you could rule catch there, too. That's a third piece of this as I watch that.
Catch stands. First down.
They're going to.
Boise State will not be charged with timeout.
The original ruling was a catch, and it stands. So not enough to overturn.
And that's a huge break for the Aztecs that desperately needed one, but maybe the football gods are kind of balancing things out there.
It's a great example, too. We watched so many different views in super slow motion. The officials on the field, real time, one look, with guys flying around behind him and in front of him.
They do a remarkable job, and I'm glad I'm up here with the benefit of replaying slow motion and not down there in real time.
So a first down at the 46, three-man rush, and Johnson weaves his way through it, looking downfield, and just unloads it to avoid a sack. Last weekend, Mountain West Conference. So Boise State, and you see 3 5-2 teams. Boise State, if they win this game, they need Air Force to lose. Air Force plays UNLV. UNLV's 2-9. We saw them last week. They're playing really well right now. So I don't think that's a layup, but certainly Air Force is favored in that game. And Fresno State is sitting at home after a really nice win yesterday at San Jose State, and they're thinking, go Broncos.
There's no question. I talked to defensive coordinator William Inge for the Bulldogs yesterday, and he said he would be watching this game very eagerly this morning.
Johnson pulls it, fires it, caught at the 48-yard line. That's Elijah Cody, just 5 yards. This could be a third down in about 5.
There's another example of the football getting to Cody right when the defender's there. Boise State is really clamped down on these wide receivers. This is a perfect part in the field in a situation where you could take a double move and maybe get a shot over the top.
Just 3 of 8 on third down in San Diego State today. 6 minutes left, first half.
Definitely a pass here.
Johnson fires, sideline. Cody made the catch. No, incomplete. Along the sideline.
Location of this football is bad. It turns Cody back into the defender. He needs to throw it the other way so Cody could turn his back to him. The off-target pass results in another fourth down punt by the Aztecs.
They have picked on the younger Canijo, and he has responded. Canijo was not a starter when the season opened, but he's been playing regularly and playing quite well.
He's one of 5 players on this Bronco defense that has 2 or more interceptions. They're loaded back there.
Ariza trying to pin this one inside the 10. And it looks like he's going to succeed. 8-yard line. Khalil Shakir is engaged. That means the Broncos are on top.
Adam Zucker in New York coming up on the Geico Halftime Report. BJ, Houston and I will get you caught up on today's action, including in the Mountain West. The guys from Logan, Utah see Logan Bonner find Derek Wright on the board first against New Mexico. Utah State needs a win, and they need Boise State to lose here in our game. So they're scoreboard watching too. Rich, Aaron, and Sherry, back to you.
Thank you, Adam. That's one of the best turnarounds in the country this year. That Utah State team that might just be playing next week in the Mountain West Championship game. Here, Hank Bachmeier and Boise State look good. Bachmeier's thrown for 164 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Backed up inside the 10, though. And Holani busts it out across the 10, a gain of maybe 4. Aaron Taylor, this is part of the blueprint of the San Diego State defense. Here's the Mountain West Championship scenarios. Air Force clinches with a win versus UNLV. Utah State lost. There's all kinds of things on that one. It's simple for San Diego State. They have to win. If they don't win, Fresno State is in from the West. Holani across the 25 to the 27, 14 yards. Boise State's clinch. They got to win this game, and they need UNLV to beat Air Force.
And I'm telling you what, that UNLV defense, you mentioned it. We saw them last week. They are much improved. They were on a 2-game win streak. They lost in almost questionable fashion with a false start by their defense late in that game, where the Rebels should have gotten an extra attempt. But that's not a layup for Air Force like it might have been earlier on in the season.
Bachmeier flush, and he throws it out of bounds. The blueprint for San Diego State is field position, and they're trying to keep Boise State pinned in their territory and force them to punt. But Bachmeier is not cooperating.
No, he's not. He's killing them with the snap count. We've seen Cam Thomas several times be called, a couple times, and the Aztecs right there with Jonah Tavai getting away with it.
This is a different offense with George Holani at tailback. 3 consecutive 100-yard games.
Watch the pickup here. This offensive line is doing a much better job of sorting out the trash. The power there of Holani running through the outstretched hands of Garrett Fountain. That's that power. The Broncos running game is hung.
3rd down and 3, and Shakir. He makes catches everywhere. He's a physical receiver as well when it's tight, and this is a good grab.
That ball's a little bit behind, but look at the strength there. Khalil Shakir makes that catch with just his left hand because the tight coverage by Thompson had his right. Just great ball location and the catch again by 2.
Bachmeier, good play action. Fires, was looking for Cobbs, and it's incomplete.
Big difference in this ball game, Rich, is both secondaries have tight coverage on these crossing routes for these teams. The difference is Hank Bachmeier is putting the ball in the location where their receivers have strong enough hands to make those catches. The same just isn't true on the other side for San Diego State.
Holani, another big hole. Cross midfield. Excuse me, that was Cyrus Habibi Likio, 7 yards on the carry. We haven't seen Habibi Likio yet.
Center and right guard, just a good job of displacing the nose to create the initial hole. Laka was able to come over there late, but not after a nice pickup to make this 3rd and medium. And getting Bachmeier out of the pocket and on the move to move his launch location would be a smart move here.
On 3rd down, Bachmeier's throw broken up. Flying up was Cedric Laka, who had a big interception to seal the win last week. So it's 4th and 3.
Huge stop by this defense. You see Laka reading the quarterback's eyes. He stops and freezes his legs. If he keeps coming there, he probably would have intercepted that. And that's an example of where 7 has to catch the football. Latrell Caples, we saw him make a circus catch earlier, but he drops that one that hits him in the hands.
All right, it's 4th down and 3. And Boise State succeeds in getting it out of their territory and right to midfield. So they're going to win the field position game. Although this is a pop-up in a shallow center. And Bird makes the fair catch. 28 yards on the punt. Coming up, Adam BJ and Houston Nutt break down the first half, bringing the day's best highlights on the Geico halftime report. Of course, this is the first of a doubleheader. Missouri, number 25, Arkansas follows here on CBS. Iron Bowl tomorrow. Huge weekend in college football. And Jordan Brookshire is in at quarterback for San Diego State. Brookshire, who lost the job to Lucas Johnson about 5 weeks ago, comes in. Pump fake. Brookshire going deep. Matthews up and got it and holds it. Terrific catch. And a first down.
We talked about the tight coverage in Boise baiting. The double move is a perfect way to defeat it. And who better to throw it to than the sure-handed Matthews? Quarterback change making an immediate difference already. Getting plus side of the 50 with just under 3 minutes and 3 timeouts is a great place to be, especially when you get the ball back to start the second half, Rich.
Brookshire was a great junior college quarterback at Laney Community College in the East Bay of the Bay Area. He's out of Santa Rosa, California. And they're going to come after him. He can run with it as well. Kaniho Kekala hauls him down at the 46. It's a gain of maybe 2.
And that's a perfect example of the challenges these receivers have had to get open. Brookshire smartly takes it. He's not nearly the mobile, agile runner that we've seen Lucas Johnson be, but to avoid a sack and get some positive yards there is important.
And you see Johnson on the sideline. No apparent injury, just a quarterback change in the final 2 minutes of the first half. Brookshire, Bellinger, the big tight end, and he can rumble inside the 30. And a first down.
Great play call here by Jeff Heklinski. This is just a split flow zone where the tight end's coming across like he's going to block. And you see the late reaction there by Dimitri Washington. That was drawn up good on paper and executed beautifully out here on the field.
Bellinger, an NFL caliber tight end. Mountain West has a few guys like that. Derek Deese at San Jose State, Trey McBride, Colorado State. Brookshire dumps it off and it's incomplete.
So I know Lucas Johnson has taken a lot of heat because he's not having a chance to be able to find open receivers. Well, guess what? Jordan Brookshire isn't either. There's great coverage here. There's great coverage here, back here, back here. There's no real clean places for him to throw the football. Late pressure there. He kind of throws a one-hopper round ball for another incompletion.
Brady Hoke and San Diego State down 16-3. But driving here. Brookshire is into the pocket, fires, sideline, Matthews escapes. Matthews is in. Touchdown, Aztecs. Quarterback change, just the trick.
Beautiful job. Go ahead and roll it, guys. I thought he was going to hit the wide receiver there, or excuse me, the running back as the check down. He's got an easy completion there, but he looks past and throws the ball perfectly on time early and anticipating that Matthews would come open. That's a big difference that we didn't see from Johnson early on.
Ariza extra point. That's an enormous touchdown for San Diego State, who gets the football to start the second half. And they are within a score now.
And it feels like home.
Jordan Brookshire off the bench into the game. San Diego State into the end zone. And it's a 6-point game. When Lucas Johnson took over at quarterback, we had a meeting with Brady Hoke during prep for a game, and he told us that he told Jordan Brookshire, hang in there. We are going to need you to be our quarterback at some point again this season. And that point has arrived. Off the bench, Brookshire gets him into the end zone. And it's Jesse Matthews again, who had the great week last week.
Yeah, coming off career high, 9 catches, 75 yards, and 3 touchdowns. We saw him make 2 touchdowns that were the difference on the road at San Jose State, Rich, and he's just really come on as of late. And what he's done here today has been simply fantastic. Most notably, getting this touchdown right before the end of the second half to give some life back to this Aztec team that desperately needs it.
6 catches, 108 yards. And now Boise State still has some clock, and they've got all 3 timeouts. They've got George Holani, who is picking up yardage at a large clip right now. That's a 9-yard carry. 2nd down and 1.
Credit this offensive line. Their coach is Tim Keene. San Diego State is extremely difficult to block, but Boise's figured it out.
Holani is a guy they say that when normal running backs will get you 2 yards, he usually gets you 6. He's got that type of strength and push.
You got to keep an eye on the time. Boise's got all 3 timeouts in a minute. They have 2 field goal kickers. Their target line is the 40. They're willing to take a 57-yarder. I don't think they're going to need to with the way that they're running the football.
And if they try a 57-yarder, it'll be their punter, Joel Velasquez. He's the long-distance field goal kicker. 6-point game, closing in on halftime.
USAA is made for the safe pilots. For Mac, who can come to a stop with barely a bobble. Lucia, who announces her intentions even if no one's there. And Sergeant Moore, who leaves room for her room. With USAA Safe Pilot, when you drive safe, you can save up to 30% on your auto insurance. Get a quote and start saving. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for.
It's great to have options in life. For Andy Avalos, he's got 2 options for field goal kickers. Jonah Dalmas has been incredible this year. He's 25 of 27. His longest is 47. You saw Joel Velasquez, the punter, tying his shoe. He's the long guy. Anything 50 and over, you'll see Velasquez. 2nd and 7. Bachmeier rolling. And looking for Shakir. It's overthrown, and Shakir playing defensive back, making sure that Trenton Thompson didn't pick that one off.
Bachmeier's extremely lucky here. If this ball had been on target, it would have been an interception, but because he overthrew Shakir so greatly, it's even outside the outstretched arms of Trenton Thompson, who had great position there. Sometimes where a miss is good.
3rd down 7. Abibilikio in the backfield. Aztecs bring 4. Bachmeier's flushed, and he has to unload. And he is planted again. Cameron Thomas chased him down.
Cameron Thomas beats the guard right off the snap. You see him right here. He leads the FBS in quarterback hits with 16 coming into today. Just a tremendous pass rush move, and shows you one of those many hits that Bachmeier's taken all season long. And credit San Diego State. Their offense gets a touchdown. Their defense finds a way to get themselves off the field and force the punt here to possess the football at the end of the 2nd quarter.
Velasquez runs up, a low line drive. Bird's going to catch it in stride. Trying to get to the sideline, he does. Cuts back. Jordan Bird, good return. Out to the 41-yard line. There's still time left here. 17 yards on the return. Jordan Brookshire back out there after this drive.
He's been the difference. He was 3 for 4 on his first drive with a double move on 1st down, finding Jesse Matthews. Then he gets Bellinger. These are the playmakers that you have to get back involved if you're San Diego State. And it's just simply that Brookshire's been able to do that, and they get the touchdown at the end of the 2nd quarter, which is what they needed. And remember, Rich, Boise State missed a PAT. The next touchdown by the Aztecs will give them a 1-point lead, and they were down 16-3. That's a great place to be if you're the Aztecs. They are well within this ball game, and they figured out how to do it on both sides of the ball.
You saw DJ Schramm headed off. 36-yard line is the target line for Matt Ariza, who's working with a new holder. This throw, boy, on the money. How about this? Off the bench, on target. Elijah Cody the catch into Boise State territory, 16 yards.
And how about Jeff Heklinski having confidence in his quarterback off the bench to keep this drive going? The Aztecs really invigorated, finding new life with a new quarterback.
Matt Ariza's got a big leg, though he missed a long distance one when he had to kick with the laces out. Again, Jack Browning, the holder, is out.
Yeah, if you're the Aztecs, you're thinking touchdown here. You'll take a field goal, but field goals in games of this magnitude usually don't win it.
I think Andy Avalos is going to burn a timeout here. He does.
Boise State has called their second charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
It's a first half that largely has been dominated by Boise State. Hank Bachmeier and the offense for the Broncos have moved the football, stuck it in the end zone a couple times. San Diego State struggled offensively, can't run the football, changed quarterbacks, and then all of a sudden get to the end zone and are on the move. Aztecs must win if they want to get to the championship game. Fresno State is watching and waiting and rooting for Boise State. Broncos to get to the championship game. Well, first thing they got to do is win. Next, they need help. They need UNLV to take down Air Force.
Like Avalos' use of a timeout there, he needs to make sure that his defense knows exactly what they're going to do. The Aztecs don't have to get a first down here to be in field goal range.
And they've got 2 timeouts. They can throw the middle of the field. No worries. Brookshire, middle of the field. Caught there. That's the big guy. That's Tyrell Shavers. 22 yards. Clock stops. They move the chains. They'll get to the line and clock it. And they got 13 seconds left.
With 2 timeouts, they could have saved themselves a couple seconds there. You're going to see just a simple in-breaking route in the defense. The corner's going to bail, and just a beautiful job of throwing the football, taking a hole shot there. Brookshire is on money. The ball's behind him, but Shavers does a great job of torquing and using body control to secure the catch.
And I'm with you. I think using one of those timeouts might have been better, and you might want those seconds back. We'll see.
You're already in field goal range. You have to keep one in your pocket. I probably would have called a timeout there.
Second down 10. Blitz comes. Brookshire firing. Oh, incomplete. Overthrown, almost intercepted. 7 seconds left. And decision time for Brady Hoke here.
I don't think it's any decision time. You almost throw an interception at the end of this drive. You try to get yourself these 3 free points. That is a huge missed opportunity for Boise, and a very lucky break for the Aztecs.
And back to this drama. David Delgado, the holder. Matt Ariza, the kicker. First one, the miss from 48. New holder. Laces were out. Laces were better on the second kick. Snap, spot, kick, up, and good. Boy, well done by San Diego State. Temporary home of San Diego State. We're in Carson, California. Dignity Health Park. Got a tennis facility. Got this beautiful football soccer facility. They've also got Jordan Brookshire here, and he has breathed life into the Aztecs championship game hopes. Down 16-3, quarterback change. Brookshire has led him on 2 scoring drives, and importantly, Aaron Taylor, they'll start the second half with the football. Will the Aztecs?
Rich, we knew that the field goal holder was going to be out today. Jack Browning taking a look at the laces. We talk about laces out, but as long as they're not facing the kicker, that's all that matters. And what a nice rebound by Delgado after having the laces face Matt Ariza early on in the missed field goal. He's really settled himself down and now made this a 3-point game, thanks in large part to Boise State, ironically, that missed an extra point.
Boise State will take a knee. San Diego State is down 3. They get the football to start the second half. For Sherry Burris halftime interview with Andy Avalos, you can go to Twitter at CBS Sports. We're headed to New York. Adam Zucker, our New York studio. The Geico halftime reports. 3-point game in the biggest game of the Mountain West this year. Biggest game in the Mountain West this year. Boise State with a 3-point lead over number 21 San Diego State. Let's go down to the field now for our Taste of Tradition presented by Sonic. Down to Sherry Burris. Sherry?
Rich, the Mountain West Conference kicked off in 1999 and going strong for 23 seasons. Early on, it was schools like Utah, BYU, and TCU dominating the competition, winning a combined 12 titles. The conference reformed, adding a championship game in 2013. Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, and the Fresno State Bulldogs lifting the inaugural trophy. The San Diego State Aztecs would rise up the next couple of years, becoming the only school to win back-to-back titles in 2015 and 2016. But the team that captured the most games and titles, Boise State. The blueprint of the Mountain West since joining, the Broncos have been crowned champions 3 times, winning all of them on their home Smurf turf.
Blueprint on the blue turf. Thank you, Sherry. 16-13, second half kickoff. Aztecs will get the ball coming up. Back in Southern California, Carson, temporary home of the Aztecs. Our Jeep first half stats. 29 yards rushing for San Diego State. That's a huge surprise, as is the 212 yards throwing the football. Rich Waltz along with Aaron Taylor, Sherry Burris. San Diego State, who scored at the end of the first half, gets the football to start the second half. San Diego State wins this football game. They're in the championship game. They lose, they are out, and Fresno State is in. Boise State needs to win this game, and they need UNLV to beat Air Force. They would be in. Bird in the end zone. All right, Aaron Taylor, we were told by Jeff Hecklinski, offensive coordinator for San Diego State, he feels that at this point, San Diego State could win a game if they just had to pass the football. I think this is the true test.
And that's really been the difference. The way that Brookshire has come in and led this offense throwing the ball really got the Aztec back in this ball game.
We're about to find out. Lucas Johnson started. Offense wasn't great. Jordan Brookshire entered, and the offense took flight. Brookshire, little dump. Ooh, Matthews caught Riley Wimpy with the hit, and we check in with Sherry.
Rich, expect to see Jordan Brookshire out there at quarterback for the entire second half. Coach Hoke told me it was time to take out Lucas Johnson. He's dealing with a bad knee. I see him sporting a knee brace down here, but we can expect, as he said, Brookshire to take over at QB here in the second half.
All right, thank you. Laney Junior College is a high-level junior college. They won a mythical national championship. Great documentary following them around for a season, and Jordan Brookshire was their quarterback. Brookshire fires Busby over his head, and it's incomplete. And suddenly it's 3rd down and 11. The run component has always been there for San Diego State, but not today.
Not these last 4 or 5 weeks, and certainly not last week in that nail-biter against UNLV. And this is the problem. You get stuffed on 1st down, you miss your 2nd down incompletion, and now you're sitting at a 3rd and long. And this is a great opportunity for the Broncos to get themselves off the field. A lot of 3 and outs today for the Aztecs.
Blitz comes. Brookshire gets by it. Out to the 40. 43 yards, 18-yard scramble, and a 1st down.
That's the problem when you go man coverage. Everybody bails outside the box. This is the shot from the blimp. Take a look at this. They've got 5 guys near the line of scrimmage. They even have a spy, but the spy misses it and is late to get over there. I believe that's Riley Wimpy. It was his job to make sure that that didn't happen, and he didn't do it.
From the 42, Greg Bell changes course, avoids a tackle, and falls across midfield, a gain of 9.
I've been hard on Zach Thomas so far today with his pass protection. Keep an eye on him backside in the run. That is a tremendously difficult block against a good football player to dig him out backside when he's got inside leverage. To credit Thomas, he struggled early in pass protection, but really since the middle of the first quarter on, Rich, he's been really, really solid. I think he's their best offensive lineman. He's going to need to be here in the second half.
Second down and 1. From the Boise State 49, and Bell's going to lose a yard. Firing through Shane Irwin. Championship game is next week. To get there, Boise State needs a win and some help from UNLV against Air Force. It's easy for San Diego State. Win the game, you go. Lose the game, you don't go. And Fresno State, who had a really nice win on the road at San Jose State yesterday. Fresno State would represent the West. Third down 2. And that is right on the stick. It depends on the spot.
I think he's going to get this here. If they mark him short, this is absolutely 4-down territory for San Diego State. I really like the way this offensive line, both these offensive lines, really have responded. I really thought they had the line to gain there. A little surprised at this spot that came up a little short. They may want to measure this thing.
4th and inches. Remember earlier in a similar situation, tight end Bellinger popped behind center and kept it himself. Play action. Brookshire lobs it. That's Bellinger with a catch at the 20, and he's out of bounds at the 10. How about that?
Jeff Heklinski, the offensive coordinator's on fire. And how about the confidence of Brady Hoke to him to get this call? They're going to bring motion here, and then Bellinger's going to come behind, and he's going to run a wheel route. This has been their bread and butter at times when they need to go big plays downfield. We talked about the bad eyes for Boise State. They were bad there again, and now the Aztecs are inside the 10-yard line. Close to it.
At the 11. Brookshire. Shoulder down. Plows to the 3. Boy, this kid has been absolutely what the Aztecs have needed.
And this is a zone read. Dimitri Washington, the in-man on the line of scrimmage, he has contained. Bad eyes again by this Broncos defense, and it's their heavy hitter, Skinner, that's got to get Brookshire to the ground.
Remember the long 3rd down scramble by Brookshire to keep the drive alive. The throw to Bellinger, and now 2nd and 2. Close to the 1st down.
Really nice job there making a tackle on the back end by Caleb Biggers. That's his job, to be the force player there. That's the sort of tackling that they need, that they missed the play before by 38.
Again, just shy of the 1st down. 3rd down and 1. On the doorstep, San Diego State. Talk about Zach Thomas, Chris Martinez, that left side of the offensive line.
A lot of big bodies there for the Aztecs.
Again, play action. Brookshire scrambling, racing. I don't know. Right at the stick.
And that's important because the Aztecs can still get a 1st down depending on where this ball is spotted. Great job by Brookshire. I think this is going to be really close. To my naked eye, it looked like he got it, but I thought they should have measured that 4th down shot they had earlier.
You can review a spot, but this would be a difficult one. It almost looks like he's falling out inside the 2, and had the ball reached towards the 1, that's Riley Wimpy, the senior linebacker, who was in pursuit. They've marked the football just outside the 1-yard line.
It's a great effort there. You see Brady Hoke talking with the officials, and just take a second to brag on Riley Wimpy a little bit. He's a Philo type player. First in, last out. The coaches raved about him. I watched him play against Colorado State. He was tentative a little bit. I asked the coaches, and he said, yeah, he was banged up. He's the type of guy we have to watch because he will not take himself out of the game. Something for Sherry to keep an eye on. He's a warrior, but you got to be good enough and healthy enough out there to give your team a chance to win, and 44 has done that all season.
You know, where the ball is marked right now is just outside the 1. The first down stick looks to be inside the 2. They've not changed the down marker, and they've not measured. So this has got to be a 4th down in inches again.
And I love the decision to go for it here if it's 4th and short, especially with the way the offensive line has been playing. This is a fair fight with the Aztecs offensive line against a much improved Bronco front.
4th and inches.
This is a low-risk play. In the event they get stopped here, they make Boise go the long way. I like this here.
Bell in the backfield. Brookshire. Bell! Is he in? Touchdown! He's in. That left side of the offensive line had enough push.
I love what I'm seeing. Great physicality there off the outside edge. It's hard to see the number of that Bronco player. He won his matchup, but I think that's clearly a touchdown. The officials seem to agree. And finally, the run game of the Aztecs pays off.
San Diego State has its first lead. Jordan Brookshire with his feet and his arm. And Greg Bell finishes San Diego State 20-16.
Welcome back to Carson, where the Aztecs just took the lead with their run game that had been largely absent. Keep your eye on the left tackle, Zach Thomas. This is a textbook clinic shot of accelerating on contact and running your feet. It's that extra movement that he created that allowed Bell to score that touchdown, because Bellinger, the tight end, got beat on that play. If Thomas doesn't do such a good job there, that play would have been stuffed.
That one through the end zone. Next Friday, 7 Eastern, Conference USA Championship will kick off. And we've got that game on CBS Sports Network. UTSA, the Roadrunners, have already clinched a spot. Alamo Dome is going to be wild. And the winner of Western Kentucky and Marshall, which is tomorrow on 3:30 on CBS Sports Network. The winner of Western Kentucky and Marshall takes on UTSA. Alamo Dome, Friday night, CBS Sports Network. Here, Boise State now trails for the first time. Hank Bachmeier and the Broncos, who looked good offensively in the first half. First touch, second half. George Holani. We'll see what adjustments now that both teams will make.
Yeah, these are some of the adjustments that Boise State did early that allowed them to be successful. The Aztecs are stunting, but keep your eye on the center, Dante Harrington. He comes across and is able to block the looper that comes in here. Go ahead and roll it, guys. Not sure what's going on, but the ability to pick up the linemen that are moving at the snap of the football, the telly froze there a little bit, is really what allowed Boise State to be successful. They've got to find a way to get back there, but I was really impressed what I saw from the Broncos up front in the second quarter.
Bachmeier rolling, firing, crossing pattern. Shakir escapes out of bounds, 42-yard line. Khalil Shakir has caught a ball just about every place on the field. That's 17 yards and up-tempo for Tim Plow's offense.
Yeah, and hitting that crossing route from the backside is something that Bachmeier found some hay. Not surprised they went back to that early.
Right back to the middle. It's tipped and it's intercepted. McMorris has it in midfield. Patrick McMorris to the 42. Tipped ball, big turnover.
Interceptions are such a huge part of this defense. Another costly mistake by Bachmeier. Caden McDonald gets his hands on it, and the Aztec, with their 14th interception of the season, are on the move.
The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. The Home Depot, Papa John's, and by Aflac. Great shots from the Goodyear blimp. Scott Brandwein, our producer, Corey Fishman, our director, Rich Waltz, Aaron Taylor, Sherry Burris, and all the women and men of CBS Sports who spent their Thanksgiving holiday getting ready here for the biggest game of the Mountain West this year. San Diego State has all the momentum. A touchdown to start this second half, and now a turnover in a short field. Brookshire pulls it, fires down the sideline. Wow! What a catch! Jesse Matthews.
His confidence grows by the day. Just a beautiful throw off the play action, the body control, concentration, and strong hands. This is the second big-time catch we've seen Matthews in this ball game pluck the football out of the air to extend a drive for his team.
Wow, 27 yards. Look at Brookshire's numbers. 8 of 12, 172. Bobbled snap, low throw, and it's incomplete. Second down and 10.
Well, it's interesting, Rich. You take a look at what the Aztecs have done this season throwing the football. They've been woeful for the most part, but really these last 4 or 5 weeks, they've really come on strong.
Matthews over his sideline for a checkup after that catch. Not in there right now. Brady Hoke and San Diego State. Their best win, Utah. Without a doubt, 3 overtimes on this field.
One of the strengths offensively is here in the red zone.
Brookshire keeps it. Brookshire, a burst and a touchdown. What a storybook day Jordan Brookshire is having.
What a difference maker. And how about the decision of this staff to choose to put him in the ballgame? This is a must-win situation for the Aztecs, and Brookshire's hugely elevated their game. Bachmeier with his second interception of the day. Their defense bailed him out after the first one with a 3-and-out. Not so lucky here in the second half.
Extra point up and good. Defense starts it.
Rich, this all started with the interception, the tip ball to Patrick McMorris, and then it's the legs of Brookshire pulling the ball, making the right read, giving the Aztecs. Welcome back to Carson, where the Aztecs take an 11-point lead. This is a split flow zone. Keep your eye on Daniel Bellinger, the tight end. He hooks the end man on the line of scrimmage here, which is a great job, which gives Brookshire an opportunity to go out. He freezes J.L. Skinner's feet, the good tackling safety, and punctures the defense getting north and south to give them an 11-point lead and all the momentum.
Broncos get it at the 25-yard line. This Sunday, Tony Bennett, Lady Gaga for a night of friendship and music as they take the stage for their final performance together. One last time, an evening with Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett this Sunday on CBS. While we were away, entire team around, and the Avalos lit into them.
Understandably. Their offense put them in a bad situation with the turnover, and the defense let them capitalize. They got to get something going here, and they've got the offense to do it.
24 straight points by San Diego State. Little toss, and it's Stephen Cobbs out of the backfield across the 30-yard line.
That route concept has been there all day for him. It's just a high-low concept where you put the defenders in a bind. You have a levels situation where you can take the short, medium, or the deep crosser coming from the backside. That time they took the money underneath.
Tim Plow's offense had a really good first half, but right now, not much going on. And Holani is swallowed up. This is a defense that in structure is unique, a 3-3-5.
Yeah, Rich, I've called it the option of defense because it's something you don't see very often. Rocky Long popularized it and had a ton of success with it, but it emphasizes and takes advantage of the undersized, extremely quick defensive linemen, and it makes recognition and who to block extremely difficult.
And they line up all over the place, as you can see right now. On 3rd and 5, Bachmeier bobbled snap, gonna run for it, and a nice move. Bachmeier avoiding a pretty darn good linebacker, Caden McDonald, to get that first down.
Yeah, Caden McDonald, you see there, is going to fire zone, try to jam the receiver. Good decision by Bachmeier here. McDonald was a little too far deep in his drop and couldn't come up, but Thomas finished him off.
You mentioned Rocky Long, former head coach at San Diego State, now the defensive coordinator back at his alma mater, New Mexico. That's who Boise State played last week. Same defensive scheme, but different personnel for sure. I mean, you got a defense that is just loaded with stars here.
This is just great linebacker play. Keep your eye here and here. This is the way you're supposed to play linebacker, particularly Michael Shawcroft. Disengages the offensive lineman, comes off the football. Caden McDonald hits it from the backside. Kurt Maddox has to be happy with the way his second level's been playing.
Second down and long turns into 3rd down and long.
That time they brought Taylor Hawkins on what you call a cowboy or a corner cat. Coming from the outside edge, you're going to see him from this backside coming from the second level. When you draw plays up offensively, you don't design them to be able to block a cornerback coming from the backside.
3rd down and 7. This is a defense that the last 3 weeks has been on the field at the end of the game and made stops to win all 3 games.
And they hurt him earlier by throwing behind in the hole from where the blitz came from.
Bachmeier steps up. Low throw and incomplete. Khalil Shakir, the intended receiver. Boise State has to punt.
What an excellent bunch of series. Again, Jonah Tavai right there as Bachmeier goes to throw the football. He does have to throw it low and away because Thompson is in such good coverage, but that time the coverage was a little too good, and the Broncos are punting once again.
Joel Velasquez.
Ooh, they came after that one.
Both these teams have blocked punts this year. This is Bird. And Bird popped out of bounds. Number 21, San Diego State. 24 straight points. Here's why San Diego State is playing their games here in Carson for the 2nd straight year. Next year, this opens. Gorgeous football stadium right in Mission Valley, right next to the old site of whatever you want to call it, Qualcomm. I like the Murph, which is no longer in existence. Next year it opens against Arizona, and it is ahead of schedule. First seat goes in a few weeks. Capacity 35 to 40. It's expandable to 60. And it has all the bells and whistles, and man, is that place going to be sweet next year. The Aztecs haven't played a real home game in almost 2 years, and here they are in their temporary home with a lead in the biggest game in the Mountain West this year. Win this game and San Diego State wins the division, and they're into the championship game. Brookshire firing, sideline. Shavers comes back, makes the catch. Flag is down, a late flag, and that may be offensive pass interference. Tyreek LaBeouf was in coverage.
Would only be the 2nd penalty of the day for the Aztecs, 3rd overall in this game. Been pretty clean pretty far, but this may be a costly one.
It did not come from the official near the play.
Pass interference, offense number 14, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Oh, I don't know.
Little push off there at the end, but credit, really nice coverage that time by Tyreek LeBeouf.
Was that enough of a push?
It looked to be at the end to create the separation because he came back to the football. But I thought the coverage was excellent by LeBeouf, not biting on the double move. We talked about it in the first half that was going to be there because they were squatting on the routes. Really nice adjustment there for 22, and out comes the laundry.
Yeah, and huge swing. Now it's 1st and 25, all the way back inside the 20-yard line, and another flag comes down.
False start. Offense, number 76, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Left tackle Zach Thomas struggled in pass protection early, really has come on and stiffened up there. Been great run blocker, was the key block on the touchdown, but back-to-back penalties after basically playing extremely clean in the first half. Early there again on the right side, I thought. Ball's out!
Who's got it? Bell lost it. Big pile. And it looks like San Diego State got it back.
Really lucky break there by San Diego State. Fumbles have been a problem for Greg Bell, and just an excellent job by Ezekiel Noah. Forcing fumbles is one of the things that Boise State does best. They're tied for 9th in all of college football coming into today with 16 recoveries, but William Dunkel rights the wrong of Greg Bell.
Good heads up by Dunkel. 2nd and 24. Play action, quick throw, Busby the catch. And he's wrestled down to the 28. This is still going to be a long 3rd down. When you have a weapon like Matt Ariza, the rock star punter, who can hit it 60, 70 yards, does that change what you call here on 3rd down and 15?
Well, you want to give yourself a chance to convert here, but you don't want to be foolish. The last thing the Aztecs can do is afford to turn the football over. When you've got Quadzilla and number 2, Matt Ariza, you know that he can flip the field. So you want to get positive yards here, but not take too big of a chance to do it.
Blitz comes, Brookshire's hit and dropped. Brandon Hawkins.
He's right here, and here's the left tackle, Zach Thomas. This is a hard kick for him to come out. He helped inside a little too long on Kekala Kaniho. You see his right hand there, but because he does that, that brings him inside, which shortens the corner and allows Hawkins to get the sack. When you fan in that situation, Rich, you can't chase inside. That was a costly mistake and a great series for this defense.
So Ariza on to punt. Now Boise State has blocked some punts. Oh, this is a rare misfire, a low-line drive. He's going to get the roll, and the ball rolls all the way inside the 30-yard line. Still 52 yards. Not bad. 27-16, San Diego State.
Hi, I'm Andy Avalos, Boise State head football coach.
This is Brady Hoke, head football coach, San Diego State.
On this Thanksgiving weekend, I'm extremely thankful for the people in my life,
for all our troops and those that have served,
the opportunities I've been given,
our first responders. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Well said. And to all the women and men of CBS Sports who've been here in Los Angeles preparing over the Thanksgiving holiday. Thank you. 27-16, 24 unanswered points from number 21 San Diego State. Stephen Cobb's the catch from Buckmeyer. This is still doable for Boise State. We told you they are a great road team. They beat BYU on the road. They won at Utah State. They beat Fresno State on the road. Fresno State is not an easy place to play if you are a road team.
Fresno State's the only team that beat the Aztecs this season. So you're right. They can get themselves back in the game.
Little screen. Holani. And Holani busts across the 40. to the 41-yard line. That moves the chains.
And Rich, let's talk about what the blueprint is for this team to come back. It's going to have to involve Hank Bachmeier. They've had 6 plays for 116 pass yards. They've got to throw it more.
Shakir has been the main target for Bachmeier. He peeks himself up off the turf again.
Let me clarify that. They need to throw it more with better protection and push the ball downfield. The Aztecs haven't really sacked Bachmeier, but they have been there time after time when he's throwing it.
He's been hit plenty.
Oh my gosh. And this is backup nose tackle Nasir Sims, who's now going to come out of the game.
Offside. Defense, number 95 with contact in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
To win a championship, you have to be at your best when your best is needed. Credit Hank Bachmeier. That's the 2nd called penalty for being offsides, and the 3rd or 4th or 5th time we've seen him get a defensive lineman to jump. He's killing them with the hard count. Almost got him there again.
Holani on 2nd down and 5. Wow, what a move to make the first man miss. And he's got the first down into San Diego State territory. George Holani, that looked like a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, Jalil Leckie is going to come in and be unblocked right there, but he does the jump cut. You have to have tremendous balance and vision to pull it off, and Holani did. This was what was missing from the Broncos' rush attack.
That was Jalil Leckie in his face. Holani the catch here. And he gets to the 46-yard line. Garrett Fountain made the stop. Final seconds, 3rd quarter.
Yeah, keep your eye on the right guard. Ben Dooley was beat right off the snap. You see him chasing there. Jonah Tavai almost got the sack. And man, what a stick there by Kahi Neves right as the ball came out.
Bears repeating the most hit quarterback in college football this year, Hank Bachmeier, and that's continued today.
Not a quarterback in this country got a bigger heart and tougher than that kid.
That's going to get inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Habibi Likio with the carry, and that's it for the 3rd quarter. On to the 4th in the biggest game of the Mountain West so far this year. On the line, a trip to the championship game. San Diego State up 11. You're watching the Home Depot College Football on CBS. Back after this message and a word for your local station. Aerial coverage of today's game provided by Goodyear. Spectacular shots all over Southern California. Carson, California, temporary home for San Diego State, the number 21 team in the country. And what's at stake as we hit the 4th? Boise State, to get to the championship game, has to win this game and get help from UNLV. UNLV at Air Force is on CBS Sports Network, 3:30 Eastern. San Diego State wins, they're in. Loses, they are out, and Fresno State is in. 3rd down and 8. Bachmeier hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. And once again, a familiar sight of Bachmeier being helped off the field, or helped off the turf.
This is just going to be a breakdown up front. Good job by Jonah Tavai getting good push. You saw Keyshawn Banks there. The pocket just collapses. Bachmeier's not able to step into the throw, and this brings up a 4th down, and I like this decision. Boise State at this point has to get something going offensively. They almost caught the Aztecs there too, and San Diego State takes a timeout.
San Diego State's defense was off the field. Boise State's offense never left. So Brady Hoke and the Aztecs burn a timeout. Just 3 seconds have escaped from this 4th quarter. Broncos are at 7-4. They've had opportunities this year. Obviously, the big one was at the start of the season in Orlando against UCF. The Oklahoma State lead. Now remember, there was a scoop and score that was blown dead that shouldn't have been. That would have been the difference in that Oklahoma State game. But the Nevada loss really hurt as well. And Air Force Not winning at home. That blue turf is usually magical. But this year, they've been a much better road team than a home team.
If you want to be a championship team, you have to learn to put other teams away. This year started off bad by Boise State on the road at UCF, and it just continued on. You lose tremendous amount of leverage here because you've given the Aztecs defense time to catch their breath and have a plan, knowing what to expect here.
See what they dial up, 4th down and 8.
They go empty and then bring Habibi Likio back inside to pass protect. Shakir. Oh.
Movement, flags, blown dead. This would not be enough for a 1st down if it is offsides, but a much more makeable 4th down.
Offside. Defense number 99 with contact. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
That's the 2nd of the game for Cam Thomas, their best player. He's right here. But there was a couple guys. Keyshawn Banks up top right here had a very controversial offsides penalty at the end of the UNLV game. I've been to several practices this year for the Aztecs. He tries to time the snap, and credit Hank Bachmeier. He is killing these guys with the hard count here on the road and makes this much more convertible.
Now it's 4th and 3. Shakir flying around the outside, has the 1st down. That's a big, big play for Boise State, and their best player just made it.
What a great play call by Tim Plow. Put the ball in your best playmaker's hands. Watch this cut right here. That's the difference maker. 34 was unblocked there. Shakir makes a miss with the great cut, knows he's got to get to the sticks, and that extra little bit gets him the half-yard needed.
And the Broncos' drive continues. From the 35. Shakir in motion again. Bachmeier flips it to Shakir. Open field, makes a man miss. Still on his feet, dives out of bounds. 28-yard line, 7-yard pickup.
What a great play. That's just a counter to the one that we just saw where they faked the flip pass, but then it kind of becomes a swing pass to Shakir and puts him one-on-one out there in the flat against Trenton Thompson, forces Thompson to miss. I like that. Try to isolate your receivers against the Aztecs defensive backs and make them prove they can tackle. These guys aren't playing clean on either side of the ball, but man, are they playing hard.
Wow. Talk about run stoppers. Cam Thomas. We've been talking about his brother, Zach Thomas, on the offensive line. These two brothers have made such an impact here.
We talked about the movement at the snap of the ball. Watch 99. He's just going to come across both the right guard and right tackle to make the tackle. That's incredibly hard. As an offensive lineman, you have to get your helmet across to cut off that penetration. They don't there, and it's a tackle for loss.
And now it's 3rd down and 6.
They are in field goal range here, so you got to be careful. Can't take a sack.
Blitz comes. Bachmeier hits. There's the sack. And that knocks them, you would think, out of field goal range. I don't think they're going to try a 60-yarder from here.
We talked about the Aztecs trying to get home all game, and they couldn't. But when they needed to, Keyshawn Banks comes. Jonah Tavai wins his one-on-one, and that knocks the Broncos out of field goal range, which would have made it a one-score game. That was a huge, huge play there on 3rd down by this Aztecs defense.
Punt team is on. Looking into the sun is Jordan Byrd. In over end, Byrd, fair catch called for. And he makes it at the 7. San Diego State by 11, pinned deep in their own territory.
I won't stop till I'm the last man standing. I won't stop until I get the goal. I won't leave you empty-handed. I'll pick a box, your body, and take a piece of your soul.
Game recap. 16-3 lead went to 27-16 San Diego State. Bachmeier's been picked a couple of times. And the story for San Diego State, off the bench, Jordan Brookshire, quarterback change. Lucas Johnson was ineffective. Brookshire has been dynamite. And we check in with Sherry Burris. Hi, Sherry.
Hey, Rich. There's some injury issues down here on the Boise State sideline. Linebacker Riley Wimpy, he does not have a helmet. And I've also noticed that DJ Schramm, he is now sporting a boot on that left foot. So the defense, a little injured as they're out there.
All right, good update there. The defense for Boise State needs to get the football back. Brookshire play action, little quick throw, Bellinger. Short pass is as good as a run right now for San Diego State.
Yeah, they're going to have to use the pass as the run, but passing's really been the story of this game, Rich, and particularly with Jordan Brookshire. This has been an offense that all season long was woeful, pathetic throwing the forward pass, but that has been the thing that's kept them alive these last 3 weeks, and today, a season high making a change at quarterback with Jordan Brookshire.
Brookshire, it started this year. Lucas Johnson took over midway through the season and has played really well. Johnson had a nice run of games. That's going to be a first down. And if they can run the football now, that was Kagan Williams, they can run clock and hold on. Remember, Boise State missed an extra point early in this game. It's an 11-point lead.
Great job by Zach Thomas there. Explosive on the combination block where he chips the down lineman, works his way to the second level. And I'm not surprised that we're seeing Kagan Williams there. I don't know if we'll see Greg Bell 22 again because of the fumble. The coaches were not happy with his possession and his inability to protect the football in big moments.
Thou shalt not fumble. That's a staple of San Diego State's running back room. Jordan Brookshire, and he's got 8 more yards. Remember the scramble that Brookshire had on 3rd down and long before that last touchdown. That may have saved their season.
Keep your eye on Isaiah Banya. He's the force player, the in man on the line of scrimmage. When he comes down, he basically blocks himself. And it's a simple keep read by Jordan Brookshire. That's the 3rd or 4th time they've used that, including the touchdown that gave them all the momentum. That's, again, having bad eyes. Banya's been a tremendous pass rusher, but against the run, you got to set the edge.
Matthews, a low throw. All right, bad eyes. Let's get into that. I've heard dirty eyes. I've heard bad eyes. For those that don't have a football glossary next to them, give me the skinny on that.
Well, the first thing you do as a defensive player, it's alignment assignment. You got to line up right and know the play. Then you have to read your keys. Every position on the football field has a different key. The linebackers often read through the lineman to the running back. The receivers read through the defensive line to where the alignments are. What's hurt Boise State today is that their eyes have been bad. They've bought into the fakes, and that's taken them out of position.
3rd down 2. And Williams is close, but I don't think he has the first down. It just got across the 30. He needed to get to the 31.
To me, the right call here is to punt the football away. Your defense has been playing lights out. If you don't get it, Boise State's already in field goal range. It's ultra aggressive to go for it here with the way their offensive line has been playing. I wouldn't second guess it, but if you're Brady Hoke and you call for this 4th down play, you better get it.
The punt team is gathering, but they're not on the field. They're going to let this play clock run down and then figure out what to do.
Smartly.
Call a timeout. And there's the timeout. And they'll decide, do you go for it? Or you bring Ariza on to let him knock one 60 yards. Don't forget, later in the game, it's the play of the game. Presented by Jersey Mike's Subs. A refresher course on what's at stake here. In the Mountain Division, 3-way tie right now. Utah State in action and up. Boise State needs to win this game, and then they need UNLV to beat Air Force. San Diego State is pretty simple. They win, and they're headed to the championship game at 11-1 and 7-1. They lose, and Fresno State goes because Fresno State beat San Diego State right here on this field. All right, put your headset on here, Brady Hoke. Do you go for it, or do you bring Ariza in and let him punt it?
I've got the best punter in the history of college football. I bring my punt team in, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Here he is. 30, I believe he's hit 3 of them today. 39 punts of over 50 yards. 18 punts of over 60 yards. 6 punts of over 70 yards, and he's hit 2 80-yarders, and that's a low-line drive that's going to roll up and out of bounds and out of reach of Shakir. Broncos down 11. Get the football with 9 minutes left. The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by State Farm, Taco Bell, Wheels Up, and by GMC. 9 minutes left. San Diego State and Boise State even on plays, close on yards. Time of possession goes to San Diego State. Boise State did a lot of that damage in the first half. Hank Bachmeier and the Broncos are running out of time. Down 11. 4-man rush. Bachmeier stands tall, fires up the sideline, and is it caught incomplete? Trying to climb the ladder with Stephen Cobbs. Dallas Branch on the coverage.
Great job by Branch, being what they call in phase. Remember, it's equal rights to the football. He's turning into the receiver. Man, you have to credit Stephen Cobbs for turning into the defensive back there to just flick it out of Branch's hand at the last minute. I like the deep shot, but now you're behind the chains. You have to give yourself a makeable third down. Look for something short and underneath or over the middle here for Boise.
Remember, Boise State is without Octavius Evans, one of their better receivers. 34 catches, a tall target. In traffic, caught there. That's Latrell Caples, 8 yards.
Caples is the young player that they think has a bright future. Had him out there one-on-one, been battling a thumb injury for most of the season, but did a nice job shielding the defender there for the nice pickup.
They're down 3. Cutter in motion. Bachmeier rolling and keeping and diving, has the first down. Gutty effort. They move the sticks.
And it's the right decision. The Aztecs had this extremely well dialed up. This is the play that they've had so much success on. But when you're in that situation and it's man coverage, there's nobody there for the quarterback.
35-yard line. With time, deep shot, Cutter back, almost had it. Just stopped and lunged and had it briefly on his fingertips.
And that's got to be tough on the receiver. Look at the shadows. The sun is right there back in his eyes. I don't think it's a factor there. He times this ball, but mistimes it a little bit. He gets his hands on it. He pushed off a little bit just to give himself some separation, but can't bring it in.
There's the sun. Almost high noon here in Carson.
Directly at the back of Boise and in the eyes of the Aztecs here in the fourth quarter.
Bachmeier hits, smothered, dropped. Boy, take a number. Thomas was there. Tavai was there.
Yeah, take your pick, man. Tavai gets there. Here's Thomas right here on the outside edge. This is just the play that you love most as a defensive lineman. Get to the quarterback on 3, and all 3 of them do. Back-to-back drives with sacks after hits all afternoon. They couldn't get to Bachmeier. There they do, making this an impossibly long third down.
Kalani's in motion. 3-man rush. Bachmeier steps through it. Uh-oh! Down he goes again.
talked about the ghost formation and the identification that makes it really difficult to identify where guys are coming from. Here's Jonah Tavai. This completely breaks your rules. We started this game showing you the route of Cam Thomas getting to the quarterback. Look at the route, a big old nose tackle Jonah Tavai does to get back-to-back sacks on this drive.
Bird with the catch. Out to the 30. Tim Plow, the offensive coordinator at Boise State, called Jonah Tavai a bowling ball
full of butcher
knives. And man, he is all of that.
This holiday season, whether you're home.
Tell me about
Adam Zucker with this Jeep update. Nebraska and Iowa just at a halftime, but before the break, Jaquez Yant, as in Yant can't stop that, capping a 13-play, 75-yard drive. Huskers up 14-6 on Iowa, who needs this game, and a Wisconsin loss tomorrow to reach the Big Ten title game, guys.
All right, thank you, Adam. Here we are, 27-16, San Diego State, the number 21 team in the country. The passing game has developed, and that's the man that really developed it. If you're just joining us, Lucas Johnson, who's been terrific at quarterback the last month, pulled from the game late in the first half. Jordan Brookshire, who lost the job, has taken the ball and moved this offense. He's hit big throws, scrambled at the right time, and has his team up by 11. What happened to the children who lived through the pandemic? Stan, Kyle, Cartman, and Kenny May. They've survived, but will never be the same. Exclusive event, South Park, post-COVID. It's now streaming only on Paramount Plus. Try it for free. Second down, 11. Clock rolling. Broncos have 3 timeouts, but they need the football back.
Great clock management by the backup Brookshire.
He's not playing like a backup, and Brookshire breaks loose to the midfield. Jordan Brookshire, the kid from Santa Rosa, Laney Community College, has his team 6 minutes from the championship game.
Bad eyes again. You're going to see Dimitri Washington come from that outside edge. There's no force player. You see Brandon Hawkins, who's late out there as well. He misses the tackle, and then Washington's forced to chase from behind to make the tackle. And there's a flag on the play as well. But how many times are the Broncos going to allow the Aztecs to hurt them there?
Block below the waist. Offense, number 5. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
That was a late flag, and it was on B.J. Busby after the run had broken, and you can see Brady Hoke is pretty steamed. This is coming all the way back, deep inside San Diego State territory, 14-yard line.
That's a dagger and a huge break for this Bronco team that's desperately needed one. You look at the body language of this team. They don't seem like a team or a unit right now that's got a ton of confidence. A turnover, a sack, a forced fumble, something will get them started. They've got to make something happen. When we talked to their defensive coordinator, Spencer Danielson, he told us, he said, hey, on the defensive side of the ball, we don't get to punt. If we want something positive to happen and it ain't happening, that's on us. We have to make our luck.
Blitz comes. And Chance Bell, he's out to the 20-yard line. This brings up a long third down, but the clock, next snap is going to come under 5 minutes.
You almost get the sense right now, Rich, that it's a little too too late for this Boise team. This is a 3rd and forever because of the penalty. They're going to get up to 3 possessions, maybe tops, at the rest of this game, most likely 2. They've got to make something happen, and it starts here on this 3rd and forever.
on the ground and going nowhere. So Ariza comes in, and Boise State will get the football back. And on the sideline, Jack Sears, the USC transfer, is warming up.
Was 1 for 3 last week with a big 42-yard toss down the field to Billy Bowens. We've seen Jack Sears do a lot. You wonder if Boise State is thinking anything to be able to try to get themselves a jump start on offense.
It seems like his last 2 punts, Ariza hasn't tried to boom it. He's just tried to keep it away from Shakir. Shakir.
Great tackle.
Great special teams. 27-16, 4 minutes left. Number 21, San Diego State. Coming up, we're headed for the Mountain West to the SEC on CBS. Missouri and number 25, Arkansas. And tomorrow, of course, the Iron Bowl. Number 3, Alabama meets Auburn. 2:30 Eastern tomorrow. Drive to Atlanta, presented by Mercedes-Benz. Followed by State Farm College football today. Plenty of college football this weekend on CBS. Noah Eagle, Aaron Murray, Rick Neuheisel, Jenny Dell standing by for Missouri at Arkansas. And here is Jack Sears. Sears, Southern California kid, transfer from USC, hasn't played a lot in the game. And down he goes. Flag is down. Cam Thomas with a sack.
Well, he better credit his nose tackle, Jonah Tavai, who's got 3 sacks already. The pocket pushed and closed in immediately on Jack Sears' face.
Holding offense, number 69. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Right here and right here. These are the players that make the difference. Watch Jonah Tavai just eject the center. My goodness. 69, Garrett Curran got taken for a ride. And then 99, Cam Thomas off the edge. That's 4 sacks on the last 2 drives against Boise State.
And there's that ghosts formation. All the defensive linemen standing up. Sears is going to run. Breaks a couple tackles. Is across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Now Sears is in. We don't know if Bachmeier is injured, but from all the hits he's taken, he certainly isn't in great shape right now. He's been sacked. He's been pummeled. And of course, Sherry's report about Lucas Johnson.
Keyshawn Banks jumping off sides, Rich.
Remember, Lucas Johnson was nursing a sore knee.
Offside. Defense, number 2, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And was not effective, and that's when San Diego State made the change to Brookshire.
Yeah, I think it's really important to note that Lucas Johnson was pulled from this game and has a knee brace on his knee. And it's very likely that an injury was responsible for his ineffectiveness. And the Aztec staff, to their credit, made the change, and it made a huge difference. Maybe the Boise State's trying to do the same thing here. Sometimes a fresh face can get you jump started. Certainly worked for the Aztecs.
Pressure, little screen. Holani. George Holani is close, but not there.
Obviously 4-down territory because you're running out of time. Boise State still has 3 timeouts, so you're in great shots. I like using some tempo here. They're switching personnel in and out, taking their time. I'd like to have had 2 plays called there so you can use the element of surprise, especially against a defensive line that's been jumping off sides. One thing that Bachmeier did a really good job of is hard counting. Wonder if Sears can do the same.
4th and 1, this is it. Wildcat, Holani, he is hit. He is stopped, and San Diego State will get the football. And barring a miracle, the Aztecs are in the championship game.
Cedric Laka scraping from his linebacker position. Huge stop on 4th down. Want to win a championship, Rich, you got to be at your best when your best is needed. And the Aztecs on both sides of the football have done it. The Aztecs defense ready for it on 4th down, trying to earn their right to win a championship.
Non-stop sports news, expert picks, biggest highlights on CBS Sports HQ, the free 24/7 sports news network. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today. You can catch our own Cherie Burris joining the HQ team. It's after the game here today. Hank Bachmeier, 21 of 40, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Well, this recipe's pretty simple. Chew clock. It's that simple. Boise has 3 timeouts, so the Aztecs must get a first down. And then some.
Kagan Williams. That would be on the then some. To the 34-yard line.
Rich, I tell you, coming into today's game, I really thought that the key matchup was Boise State's offensive line against this ferocious front from the Aztecs. They struggled to get him down on the ground, although he took constant hits and pressure all afternoon, losing his helmet there. But it was the 4 sacks on the last 2 drives that really were the difference. And Jonah Tavai, the big nose tackle, really put a hurting on 19.
2nd and 1. Broncos haven't used a timeout yet. They've got 3 of them. We're under 2 minutes.
Not after a 9-yard gain on first down, you wouldn't use it.
And Kagan Williams has the first down.
Here you would, though.
One of the knocks on San Diego State at the start of the season was this. If they have to throw the ball to win a game, they won't win that game. They did not have much of a passing attack to start the season. That's changed little by little. Jordan Brookshire came off the bench late in the first half, and a big chunk of those 407 yards you just saw for San Diego State are through the air. Brookshire slides in at the 26-yard line in our Jersey Mike's Subs play of the game. This was the scramble and the touchdown by Brookshire.
And it really was the play of the game because it was the theme of the game, and that was bad eyes by Boise State's defense, both in the run and pass. And the emergence of Jordan Brookshire, who's not as good of a runner as the guy he replaced because of injury, Lucas Johnson, but it's been both the arm and the legs of number 4 that have clearly been the difference here this afternoon.
Championship game next week, and looks like it'll be right here in Carson, California.
How about
San Diego State will host.
This has just been a great team win and really a season all year for Brady Hoke. Special teams, offense, defense, time of possession, field possession, turnovers, basic football, but it's worked beautifully.
Williams settles down at the 26. Boise State uses their 2nd timeout. Make sure you stay tuned. State Farm College football today. Adam BJ Houston standing by. Got all the highlights. Get you ready for Missouri and number 25 Arkansas. Maybe a little bit of Iron Bowl chatter. That is tomorrow on CBS. Goodyear Blimp has been with us all day on a sunny day in Southern California. 2 hours away from the San Diego State campus. Well, in reality, with traffic, you're looking probably closer to 3. And that's where the Aztecs have been playing for these last 2 years. And that's where the championship game next week will take place. Third down, Williams to the 25. Another timeout. Even though the exit polls say San Diego State's going to win this game, we have not awarded them the W yet. But for the folks in Fresno that were hoping that Boise State could come back, it doesn't look good. Aztecs are about to go to 11-1 and 7-1. And you would hope that they would rise in the college football playoff standings from 21. They actually dropped last week with a win.
Yeah, there's a lot of good pieces to this Boise State team. This is a very respectable team that they beat here today. Boise State, they figured out how to be a little bit more physical in both their front seven and on their offensive line since Helani's been back. But they led this game, Rich, 16-3, and have allowed the Aztecs to score 24 straight right before this field goal attempt of Matt Ariza.
Ariza misses. He's missed a couple. Remember the story of the laces here. He's not got his regular holder. This is another kicker, David Delgado.
And the laces that time were facing Matt Ariza, and it's a simple recipe: laces out. It's important to know that a kicker needs the laces out so his foot can strike the football cleanly. And the only thing more important to know than laces out is that Eichel is Feenhorn and Feinhorn is, what is it, Eichel? Finkel and Einhorn. Dang, I screwed that up.
That's all right.
I just totally fumbled.
That's all right.
I totally fumbled.
That's all right. You'll have a new holder next week.
Oh, my gosh. Laces out, Taylor.
27-16. Sears is still in there. Boise State obviously down a couple scores. Sears dives. It stops the clock briefly. They've used all their timeouts.
This one's decided, Rich. But these last couple plays are merely going to change how this one ends. But it's a little too little, little too late for a Boise team that played really hard. They just didn't play well.
Sears going to lob this one down the field. And is it picked? Dallas Branch has the interception. And now we can project number 21 San Diego State as the West Division champ and the hosts for the Mountain West Championship game next week.
Yeah, it's equal rights to the football, and usually in a situation where it's fair possession, tie would go to the runner, which would be the receiver. But in this case, Branch clearly catches the football. There is a late flag on the field that we'll have to sort out here as well. Good job by the receiver getting his right hand in there, but I don't think it worked for Cobbs. This one's going the other way.
The ruling on the field is an interception. It'll be first down, San Diego State. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, San Diego State, number 9. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal, first down.
Pretty satisfying. Remember last year in COVID, San Diego State did not have a very good season. They were 4-4. It just didn't feel like the usual business for the Aztecs. But man, they came out roaring. 2 wins over the Pac-12. The 3 overtime win against a really good Utah team. They are 7-2 against the Pac-12 in the last 5 seasons.
It's a masterful job by this staff. Both coordinators, Jeff Heklinski on the offensive side, hanging in there with the run game, making some critical decisions with the quarterback position, finding a way to get this passing offense going. And then on the defensive side, Kurt Maddox, what a masterful job. This was a complete team this season in the regular season for the Aztecs, and they have more than earned their right to go try to win a championship.
Got to feel pretty good about Jordan Brookshire, who lost his starting quarterback job. Was called into service late in the second, and man, was he dynamite. Number 21 San Diego State playing in the championship game next week. For Aaron Taylor, Sherry Burris, our entire CBS crew, I'm Rich Waltz from Carson. Get you back to Adam Zucker and company for the State Farm College Football Today right after these messages.